Chapel bells ring out over a quiet harbor in the heart of Victoria, British Columbia. Tourist season is slow. The border with the U.S. still sealed as the Delta variant rages in many states. But there's a bustle in the shadow of the nearby capital. Protesters are assembling, as they have every Wednesday afternoon since March, to support the Indigenous and settler forest defenders at Fairy Creek, and to demand the government immediately halt the cutting of ancient forests.
Ancient forests are irreplaceable. NDP and Horgan are not.
I think more and more people are facing the fact that we have to fight our own governments to save the future for the kids that are alive right now and the kids that are coming.
Tasha Diamond has organized these protests, adding a colorful touch to this one.
I spray painted about 30 toilet plungers and about 20 toilet brushes, orange, fluorescent orange. I'm hoping that we'll go on a march and wield these like citizen scepters, just really to create some spectacle and visual impact, and also to just really draw attention to like using our citizens' power to talk about the real criminals.
Orange plungers and scrubbers? That might be a mystifying spectacle for the out-of-towners. But they're welcomed by many drivers hitting their horns and reading the signs.
I'd like to say that there's tons of support. I think there's support. There are people also that come by and say, I'm proud of my colonial history.
Is it discouraging to be faced with those kinds of comments?
It's super discouraging that people don't understand that we're at the less than 3% of ancient trees in this province, and they are actively logging those trees. And indeed will log the last ancient trees to satisfy these deforestation corporations.
At a time when we're having massive heat waves that are setting.
It's insane that this is happening, especially after the last heat wave. Like, we are just viscerally experiencing climate change, and that heat wave was so terrifying. I haven't let go of my terror, personally. I feel like my terror has really turned up since the heat wave. So it's really discouraging if that doesn't wake people up, if the discovery of dead children's bodies doesn't wake people up. What will wake people up?
After waving signs and those handy toilet tools, the now fully assembled stopped traffic and started marching, or, in the case of Victoria's Captain Painfully Obvious, towed what marchers called the Boat of Truth.
Arrest the real criminals! Horgan, Trudeau, and all the rest of them!
A Victoria police van trailed the marchers, while cops on bikes wove along the edge of the crowd. They made no arrests.
Hands up!
Hands off!
Old group!
Old group!
Hands up!
Hands off!
Old group!
Old group!
The marchers stopped at the courthouse steps.
Another issue in front of the courts and eventually in front of the Attorney General, Evie, is whether the charges will become criminal charges. And all of those young people, mostly young people but not all, will have criminal records.
Tasha's been arrested in the struggle against the climate emergency, but that hasn't slowed her down. Neither has the fact that she's a stage 4 cancer survivor.
It's taking a lot of energy to do this. Are you comfortable with that?
Well, I've been a performance artist and I've been a university instructor. I am a visual artist as well. I've been an activist for years. I've got a lot of skills that I can bring to this. And so I feel like I can use myself in a way that I haven't been able to use myself, who I am, what I can bring. So I've been really energized in a lot of ways. Sometimes it's exhausting, like there's terror and there's adrenaline, there's fear for my children, there's depression. But actually I feel energized, like this is something that I can use my skills in.
Tasha says she plans to be at the provincial capital every Wednesday until the government stops sanctioning the cutting down of ancient trees and stands up for strong solutions to the climate crisis.